So why do so many people seem to struggle so much in their business and life? Well, I have found that most people mainly make these three mindset mistakes. Number one, they don't have the right habits in place. Number two, they haven't really decided to go all in. And number three, they lack daily focus. You know, success, happiness, these are predictable results that have a structure and an order, and they're created by first merging a clear decision with an elevated emotion, such as joy, excitement, gratitude. Then you start putting the right habits in place to support that decision. And then you stay laser focused at all times on your goal. You see, the reality is that far too many people are comfortable and happy to play at mediocrity. And many people are under the illusion or even the delusion, right, that they can get to where they want to go in life by taking shortcuts. They think, for example, that they can let themselves off the hook, that it's okay to lack discipline, that they can think whatever thoughts that they want, no matter how negative. Incredibly, they may spend really long periods of time stuck in negative emotions such as anger, fear, resentment, worry, doubt, and still somehow magically think they'll still end up a success. Let me tell you, it just ain't gonna happen. You know, many people often say, why are things not happening for me? You know, I thought I'd turned a corner in my life. I hear this all the time. I'm taking a lot of action. I'm doing what you told me to do. But you see, I have to explain that they're still currently living on the residual of their past negative thinking. Does that make sense? And it takes time. It takes time to learn from our mistakes and for the new neural pathways in our mind to form. So here are some of the principles that I've learned and passed on to my clients to help you overcome these three mindset mistakes. Are you ready? Cool. Okay, number one, understand you'll never live beyond your wildest expectations until you first have some wild expectations, right? But you've got to get a run at it. Now, what exactly does that mean? Well, you've got to hold your mind on your vision, on your goals for longer periods of time until you literally become the vision, until it stands out boldly in your mind, overshadowing the negative stuff, right? Number two, you will achieve the highest levels in your business and in your life only if you decide to go beyond being as good as it takes, right? Until you really commit to raising your standards and exceeding the required level, then your performance will be inconsistent and, quite frankly, your opportunities will be limited. Number three, you'll become a great leader and an inspiration to your team, in your company, to your family, your friends, only after you decide to get serious. Until you walk your talk, right? Until you take those actions that you know you need to take, but consistently every single day. Until you decide to lead by inspiration and example. And until then, your circumstances will remain as they currently are. Number four, you'll make a significant breakthrough only after you decide to step up and really fight for your dreams, right? And until you make that decision, you know what? I'm destined for a life of greatness. Until you embrace the work that you passionately believe in. And until you do all of this, then you'll continue to maybe waste your time and your talent. So really, what you want to be able to do is habitualize the empowering things in your life that will propel you massively forward. And of course, you got to stop doing the things that will disempower you, right? You know, behavioral scientists tell us that it takes 21 days to form a new habit. Now, for sure. There's some research says it takes 30 days or 66 days, or some say 90 days. To be honest, it depends on the habit. So how do you know when the right habits are in place? That you've made that decision and that you have that required level of focus. How is this demonstrated in your daily behavior? Okay, well, when your ability to take consistent action becomes an actual habit, something that you do every day without having to think about it, then you absolutely know you're on track, right? When you set realistic but challenging deadlines and you honor them, when you take personal responsibility for your life instead of playing the blame game, the victim game that so many people in this world tend to play, right? When you focus on what it is that you want and what's great about your life, you look around your life and say, wow, that's really cool, that's amazing, instead of focusing on what you don't want and what's going wrong. It's more common than you think. When you add more value as a habit and not as a selective exercise, you just do it unconditionally without expecting a return. When you start your day earlier and you make the space for training your mind, such as listening to this session, for example, then you know you're on track. Then when you take initiative, when you seize the moment, whenever the opportunity presents itself to you, then you know that you're definitely underway. And in terms of laser focus, in this day and age, it's all about eliminating distractions from your life, isn't it? So distraction eradication. That means saying no much earlier and saying no more often to people pleasing. Saying no to anything that's going to mess up with your values, your priorities, your routines, your habits, or anything that's not going to contribute to the value that you really add. Does that make sense? And believe it or not, that means making fewer decisions. That frees up your brain power, your mind power. So you have to be disciplined about setting up a qualification and a criteria in your life for what you need to pay attention to. This will absolutely change your life. And then after you've decided on something that really excites you, you have to get super clear on who you need to become every day, and then you're living into that vision, right? So that means making those higher choices throughout your day. That means choosing to think and experience those thoughts that actually make you feel good about yourself and good about others and good about life. Thoughts that empower you and really move you in the direction of where you want to go and your vision. I guarantee you this, your next level of transformation will happen when you set up new routines and habits that support you energetically. When you really decide and you reach that level of focus that really supports your ability to think the thoughts that you want and to think those positive thoughts that really accelerate you in the direction of where you want to go. So there's tremendous momentum that comes from having these three things in place. So remember, number one, having those right habits in place. Number two, deciding, you know what, I'm all in. And then number three, get super focused, because life is ever so short and precious, as you know. And the sooner we get serious about our lives, about our business, about our future, then the better off and the happier we will all be. So I hope that serves you in some way. I hope that really helps you to go out there. And my advice is just to be amazing at what you do and let the world benefit from your magic. Bye for now. Hey my friend, it's Dave, and I really hope you enjoyed this episode. Do me a favor, be sure to subscribe to this channel so that you continue to get updates every time that I release new training for you. Also, while I have you here, if you'd like to get ahead a little faster in your business, then do visit my website. That's daveo'connoronline.com, and subscribe to my email list. That way you'll get more fresh, in-depth, free, world-class training on mindset and motivation. Thanks so much for tuning in. Until I see you next time, go out there and be absolutely awesome at everything that you do. Bye for now.